even though it's a little bit of a fall, it's still performing really well, right? The
Wow.
mortgage rate, we've seen it at like 6.09. That's a big difference from like higher rates like sevens. If you're looking at a like $500,000 home, the difference in payments like will be like several $100s. So
Wow. Hi, and welcome everybody to the Housing Tips. It's the show where we talk about housing news, housing information, and everything in between. Joining me today is my co host, Jesse. How are you today, Jesse?
doing good, brother. Had a trip, came back from Tijuana, and it was cool. It was fun.
How are the tacos there? Or did you get something else?
Tacos El Gordo, that's what I would recommend if you're ever in
Ah.
TJ. I'm not sponsored, but if they want to sponsor the video, hey,
What's your favorite type of taco, Jesse?
I have to do adobada. It
Ooh, what's that?
is, I don't even know the proper like definition for
Mhm.
adobada. Sorry if I'm supposed to like know. But it's like I know it's related to like pork. I think it's yeah, sorry mom. I don't remember, but
Is it
adobada, put the sauce, you're good.
is it kind of like El Pastor, or is it a little bit different?
Yeah, it's like that. So
Oh, okay.
that's the one you go with when you go to Tacos El Gordo. Yes.
Interesting. My favorite taco is actually tripas. I love tripa
Oh,
tacos. I don't know why. I know when you think about where they come from, it grosses people out, but man, they are so tasty.
yeah, tripas is good. Beef tripe. That
Yeah.
see, I know that definition. I still don't know adobados.
Thinking of, since we're going to be in the fall time and we're starting to think about, different change of weather, different changing of times. Um, our topic today is actually about the fall housing market and what's happening right now. And I'm just going to pull up this article, and the main article is coming from CNBC, and it's not a great fall housing market, but this is as good as it gets, economists say. And that's based on what's happening with the housing market, and that's what's happening with people buying and selling houses. Jesse, what are your thoughts about this upcoming fall housing market? What typically happens, and what's going to be happening this year with your thoughts and your crystal ball?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit it gets like a little bit of a standstill kind of in the fall, especially right now because of election, especially when it goes into the holidays. It kind of slows down a bit. Summer is usually the best time because people want to do the switch like right before school starts, right? But even though it's a little bit of a fall, it's still performing really well, right? The
Wow.
mortgage rate, we've seen it at like 6.09. That's a big difference from like higher rates like sevens. If you're looking at a like $500,000 home, the difference in payments like will be like several $100s. So
Wow.
even though it's falling, I'm still seeing a good opportunity for buyers.
No, definitely. I did have one question then. So, as a person selling their home, is it better to sell in the summer then?
Summer, usually that's when you're seeing like families looking to kind of do the switch, during break, just to provide any like instability, like with their kids and change of schools. And it does slow down. But I'd say that's usually kind of prime time.
Yeah. And so then as a consumer, as I always like to come from the consumer side since I'm just the consumer, then the best time to look for a house then would be possibly now then in the fall time, more towards the winter time when people are, they're getting desperate, they want to move somewhere else, maybe they have something contingent on another future house purchase and they're just waiting for the dominoes to fall. What are your thoughts about that?
No, yeah, it's that's a big piece, like like families prefer to move during the summer to avoid that disruption, right? So there's more buyer activity. It's better weather, there's more inventory, the outdoor appeal. But then the cons, there's increased competition, right? You're gonna need more effort to really stand out. And then, the market saturation. Selling in the winter, I'd say the pros, there's fewer homes that are on the market in the winter. That can also make your property stand out more to buyers. Buyers in the winter are usually more motivated. They're
Mhm.
serious about purchasing. They're motivated and trying to do that change, and it's going to result in less competition, allowing for quicker sales, even if it's a small, like slightly lowered price, you know
Oh, interesting. So as a consumer then of the, four seasons, we'll call it the four seasons, where do you think a single person who's just trying to buy a condo or something, when's the best time for them to start looking or to plan a purchase?
Yeah, I mean, both summer and winter have their advantages. They have their disadvantages when it comes to selling a house. It depends on your circumstances, your local real estate market, how your home presents in different seasons. So I'd say it's good to just kind of assess these factors so you make an informed decision about when's the best time.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to dive deeper, into your market, hey, you guys can ask me a question and let me know.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would say to leave comments on the video, and we'll make future episode videos on any questions. As someone like myself, I always thought the best time to purchase is during the spring, summertime, because it's like the weather's a lot cooler, especially in Southern California. I know in other states it's almost unfeasible to move into a new house during the winter time because it's snowing, or during the summertime it makes it really, unmanageable, especially like in the Phoenix or Vegas area where it is super hot. I actually, side story, I just had some family members that bought their first house in Vegas, and they bought
Nice.
it right now, and they said it was 115 degrees when they're moving into their new house.
Oh man.
And it makes it a lot more difficult to move all that stuff because, like we talked about before, furniture is extremely heavy, especially when it's 113 degrees outside.
It's tough. I help everyone when it's time to move. I'm more than just a realtor, I'm a mover. But 115 degrees, I don't know. I might be a little hesitant.
No, definitely. My cousins ended up buying movers instead because they just said it's too hot to do it. And a lot of my family was saying, "Hey, let's go out there. Let's go spend the weekend in Vegas
Yeah.
and help them move." But at the end of the day, giving money to the local economy, having movers do the hard work for you, it pays for itself. It really does, especially when it's
Yeah.
115 degrees outside. But with that, Jesse, is there anything you want to summarize with the different times in the season? With the changing, it was a little bit cooler this morning, it was a little bit more fall feeling. So is there anything you want to summarize this video with before we close it out?
Oh yeah, we're noticing that weather change. Had to put a long sleeve on this morning, but no, yeah, we're seeing still growth. I think seasons. There's pros and cons, and I think if you're having thoughts of selling your property or purchasing, just having that information so you know how to approach that time, right? Not like, hey, I need to only purchase in summer, or I can only like sell during this time. It's just how we're going to approach it differently and have that game plan, going into it.
No, definitely. And this is why we have the housing tips, is to give information and
Yeah.
the best tips and all of the information in between. If any of this information sounds something that you want to learn more about, please consider liking and subscribing to this video. But until next time, though, Jesse, thank you so much and have a great day.